Hello everyone, welcome back to Loyaltiness channel. This is a channel where we learn about the laws of Ghana, break it down so that everybody will understand. Today we are learning about the sources of Ghana law. There are questions that people ask and I want to try and answer them today for you. Every day when you say something about the law, so Ghana law says, then they say, is in the constitution. Where in the constitution is that? Is Ghana law all about the constitution or there is more? People ask, why do we still keep using old cases? Are they also part of Ghana law? Where do customs come in? Have we thrown all our customary law away, or we still can use our customary law? These are questions that the ordinary person may want to know. And so if you are interested in something like this, please stay tuned and let's learn together. Number one, our constitution, the 1992 constitution, is the highest law in Ghana. Highest, supreme, highest law in Ghana. And so that is the only place you can find where the sources of Ghana law are. So the Article 11 of the 1990 Constitution says that, okay, all the laws of Ghana are this, and he stated them 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you want to find where the laws of Ghana, the first place you should go to is the 1992 Constitution. Yes, 1992 Constitution. Now, the second place you can find the laws of Ghana is Act of Parliament. So yes, the parliamentarians who go to the chamber or the parliament house, they make laws. So every law that is made by the parliament is named, Act of Parliament. Oh, Parliament has made the law. Parliament has made the law. They have made a law because the constitution says that they can make laws in Ghana. So please take note of that. Now, third source of law that you should know is that the authorities and people who have been given power to make orders, regulations, rules, which will govern the activities of people, persons who are under them, or who work in a particular community, and what have you. So those orders and rules, if the constitution or any law has given a person, whether it's a minister or an authority, whether it's an electoral commission or it's a local agency, a local government, to make rules, and they make those rules. Those rules and orders and laws and regulations are part of Ghana laws. Those are number 3. So it means if you have electoral commission making a rule, electoral commission has gone through the process and passed maybe an airline. We'll talk about the process later, but electoral commission has made some rules and everybody is going, why have they made these rules? The court has given them some power, or these local governments, they've made some rules, maybe bylaws, and then they are enforcing them, sanitation rules. Those laws, those orders, those regulations, they are respected by our laws and they are part of Ghana laws. And those are actually number 3 of the Ghana laws. Now, number 4 is what we call the existing law. The existing law is that, you see, the 1992 Constitution came into force in 1993, right? So it was made in 1992, but it started working in 1993. So if it says existing laws, then it means all laws which were present before the 1992 Constitution was made. So let me give an example. You see, we have a criminal act, the law that has all or most of the crimes in Ghana. It was made as far back as 1960. That is where we have stealing, robbery, and the dishonestly received that I've already talked about. That is where we have them. And so, if you are looking for the laws of Ghana, you say, is it in the constitution? It's not only in the constitution. You can see some in the 1960 Criminal Acts. You can also see some in some laws, maybe letters of administration. You can see some in the Administration of Estate Acts. You can see some in PNDC Law 111, which was made in 1985. Those laws came before the 1992 Constitution. But our law says, our Constitution says that those are part of the existing laws which were made before the Constitution itself. But they are parts of our laws. And remember that they are only part of our laws if they do not contradict the 1992 Constitution and other laws which have been made currently. So if there is a 1960 law and that law is contrary to or it goes against our our 1992 constitution, then that law is cancelled. It is void. The law says it is void. Yes, it is invalid. It is void because it contradicts the highest law of Ghana, that is the 1992 constitution. So that is it with existing law. We have what we call the common law. The common law comprises of so many things, and that is what I'm going to discuss now. It comprises, among others, cases which we inherited from the British. So those are some cases that have been decided, maybe contract, it covers some part of contract, but we have not made some special laws in Ghana to cover that part of the contract law now. So those cases will still be important. We will still mention them, that there's a case in 1805 which said that contract is this. It doesn't mean that Ghana, we can't make contract law. Those laws are there already. We have a contract act in Ghana, but if we've not said anything different in our laws in Ghana, it means we can still use those inherited laws. Because remember, before this 1992 constitution or even the 1960 constitution, there were laws, there were courts, and they were using some of these old cases to make rules and to make decisions between people. So that is it why we use those common laws. But remember, I said they should not contradict the laws that have been made in Ghana at the moment. They should not contradict the constitution or acts of parliament or any law that we have made in Ghana at the moment. As part of the common law is also the rules of equity. We've heard all of that before. Equity says this, equity says this. Those have been decided in cases. And so we use them from the foreign cases to even the Ghanaian cases. And then we have what we call the customary law. Those customary laws, the law says that those are laws which are applicable in various communities in Ghana. Various communities in Ghana, and the ones which have already been accepted by the Supreme Court of Ghana or the Superior Court of Ghana. So every community has its custom. They differ everywhere. So if you're going to marry, we already talked about marriages. You have to look for the custom of the area you're going to marry. When it comes up that we want to decide whether you marry the person customarily, we go and ask what is the custom of maybe the fancy people in Cape Coast. How do they marry? Those are part of our laws. Some of these customs, they have been accepted and the courts have written on them. So you just go and say, oh, this case said this because the court has already recognized that already. But it doesn't mean that if it has not been recognized, then we cannot use it. So far as you can be able to prove whether you can come and state or bring evidence to show that, oh, yes, these customs exist here, here, and it is seen to be true and not contradictory to any law, whether the constitution or all the laws I have mentioned above, then we can uphold that customary law. So yes, customary laws have a place in our laws in Ghana. Remember that the courts in Ghana, the High Court, the Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court, they have decided a lot of cases from when the court started in Ghana till today. There are some cases that the judges have established some laws. So, when you see our constitution now, it's basically a very small book. You can check online for a copy. But then there are some decisions that the court have made. They've made it to interpret the constitution. They have helped us to understand some of the things that are not really understandable or they are not clear in the constitution. They have looked at a particular situation and says, if this situation happens, this should happen. Those decisions by our high courts, our Court of Appeal, our Supreme Court, those decisions have become laws in Ghana. They are applicable in Ghana. And so if you hear Lawyer Tina say, oh, the laws of Ghana says this and this and this, and then he says that, oh, the constitution, it is in the constitution that this and this and this. It doesn't mean that you go and see a clear line, the constitution says this. Maybe the constitution will say one line, but our Supreme Court may have interpreted and added some things for us to understand that one line better. So the next time you want to ask, oh, where is it in the constitution and where is that in the constitution? You may want to know if there's some cases by our superior courts who have interpreted or applied the law in a particular way that the lawyer may be explaining to you. I don't know if you understand me up to this point. Remember that the laws that I have mentioned above are in order. The constitution is first, the act of parliament, the orders and rules made by authorities, like I have already mentioned. They are all in order. So the first one first, the second one first. Check Article 11 of the 1990 Constitution, and then you can read them for yourself. So now you know clearly that the laws of Ghana are more than just the Constitution and the Criminal Act that you always hear of. There are many. There are some of them you do not know. Even as a lawyer, there are some of them I may not have seen up to this point, or may have not read up to this point. So there is a need for all of us to learn. And so if you are not part of this channel and you have not subscribed and you have not told someone about this channel, then it means they are losing a lot. So hey, share with your friends, let them learn so that they do not fall foul of any law and face the consequences, because ignorance of the law has never been an excuse. Thank you for watching, and please leave your comments and your questions and I'll help you as soon as I can. Have a very, very good time. Bye.